Okay. Go ahead, guys.
Peace and blessings to everyone. I'm here with Demonte and James. What's going on? Alright, so this should be like what the third show of Freedom Fighters. Give or take an episode or two. For new listeners and subscribers, we ask that you share the link to our videos with the hashtag Ohio Freedom Fighters. We cover a wide range of topics from criminal justice to prison reform, wrongful convictions, awareness, and other social issues, and we use a different platform of social media, to grow the brands. We both into music. I wrote 6 books myself. I'm also into art. We have a clothing line that we trying to get out the ground, Godly Apparel and True Godly. And we have comrades and family that's independent music artists that's trying to get into the music industry as well. So y'all can follow us on Facebook. My page is under Malik Sincere. That's MALIK.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
Malik Sincere. I'm on Instagram under @TrueSincere730. That's TRU Sincere 730. Demonte is on Facebook under Demonte Graham. DAMANTAE Graham. You can find his music on SoundCloud and YouTube under Tate Sosa or Monte330. So follow us and friend us. We're working on putting more content on our social media pages. Give us a week or so. We'll have one of our pages daily and promoting all of our projects and updates and events, for upcoming shows. A friend of mine named Nikita, who also subscribes to our podcast and YouTube channel, sent me a few questions that she would like us to get the feedback on. So we're going to get into that. And then after we answer our questions, we'll get into a discussion about rehabilitation, which is the focus of our show today. So the first question Nikita asked is, does thinking about the death, does thinking about death row scare you? You want to answer that, or?
Thinking about death row scare you. We could both answer. I would say it don't necessarily scare me, but the feeling gets scary, if that makes sense. Like, I never knew or got close to any other prisoners who have been executed, but I've been around them, and it's definitely scary knowing this is real and they want to take your life. How you feel about it?
I mean, for me, I think, the things I experienced when I was out in the streets consumed within negativity, caused me to develop a sense of fortitude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen a lot of my comrades and friends being killed. I faced death a few times in my life, so I was, sort of numb to the concept of death. As crazy as it may sound, like from the age of probably like 14 or 15, I kind of welcomed death, because I felt like it was better than struggles and adversities I was consumed with daily, So like the first time of being on death row, that it kind of had a dramatic effect on me was probably back in like 2008, probably like when they started killing guys who had developed a friendship or bond with. And that's when, reality hit in, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's when I was like, yo, like, this is real, you feel me? But, mainly for, my kids, though, seeing how my situation affect my loved ones, it kind of caused me to be overwhelmed, with emotions. But, honestly, I try not to overwhelm myself with negative thoughts. I'm not the pessimistic type, but whether it be on death row from natural causes, death is inevitable, you know what I mean? So I try my hardest to accept it for what it is. It's not easy, but... I mean, I got my heart, the Most High got, other plans for me, so I'm going to just throw this out until that happens, you feel me?
That's real, man. Next question.
Already, so next question is, do you think execution is morally correct? Absolutely not. That's the premise of our show, the Abolish the Death Penalty, because it's inhumane, you know what I'm saying? It makes, no sense that in 2020, and we should have a death penalty. You feel me? It's modern day lynching, and understand that black folks wasn't the only folks getting lynched back in the day, and race wasn't always the reason behind lynchings. You feel me? So more or less, by any means, is it correct under any circumstances to kill anyone? You feel me? Including the state of Ohio or any state for that matter, killing prisoners. You feel me? We're not saying that we deserve to be free despite the crimes that we're accused of. However, the key word is accused. You feel me? Not all of us are guilty. You know what I'm saying? This is basically political. It's not morally ethical. You know what I'm saying? It's prisoners done 20 plus years to life. The life sentences for worse crimes than half of death row.
taking life because somebody took a life, nah, that don't make sense to me. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with taking life, period. But every murder is different. Like, you got crimes of passion, crimes committed under the red split-second murders, but every situation is different. And I won't justify it. They should be held accountable, but executed based on the discretion of the prosecutor and politics. Nah. Next question.
Yeah, so the next question is, are you able to reach out to real murderers and ask him if he would ever be willing to confess the truth?
Man, listen. I wish this was a simpler world where truth sperm was in the water supply and liars knew not lie already. Then my people would know the truth about who we are already. But in reality, nobody's gonna confess to a body with a death. Like, the state literally want to kill whoever committed this crime.
Right. I mean, like, not only that, but like, you don't even know who committed the crimes to begin with, because you weren't even there. So it's like, asking somebody that committed the crimes you want to know, you know. But I mean, for me, it was like, you know, we said a private investigator speak to Antonio some years ago. He gave another completely different story. You know what I'm saying? But he wasn't signing a statement or affidavit. And then back in 2014, someone that I knew who was at the time in the same prison that he was in tried to assault him on my behalf. I ended up being placed in a home because they accused me of trying to put a hit on him. You know, which was some BS on his face, though. But you know, I was pretty transferred back to Supermax placement because of the incident, and I ended up beating the whole case. But they still made me do close to 8 months in the hole, even though I was found not guilty during the appeal process. But because I was found guilty during the rules and infraction board process, you know, they got it off. You know what I'm saying? Like, more or less, you know, Antonio continued to change the story about what happened the night that all this happened. And none of
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
his lives are in our favor, so I'm just going to fight through the course with it. You feel me? So, next question. What do you plan to do when you're released to help better the world? What you want to say about that?
Man, brother, I'm going to change the world. As people, we tend to look to outside forces for motivation, role models, and guidance. We have certain expectations of what change is and what we think is good and what's bad. And as I'm getting a new perspective, I realized some of my expectations of change and judging of good and bad was misguided. So I looked within myself and found a new set of values centered around family and unity and love. And instead of looking for some role figure to come and guide the way, I'll take the initiative to be a guiding. Not to sound ideological, but the journey of 1,000 miles start with one step.
Already.
And this is my single step. Like, and I'm not perfect, but my imperfections encourage me to grow.
Okay.
So I know it can be done.
Yeah.
And instead of showing people,
Yeah. You guys got one comment on here. It said that this lady said she's very proud of you guys.
Okay.
Hey, James, if you can lead the questions to like the end of the segment, we gonna open up a part for comments so we can say, you know what I'm saying? But like, we definitely appreciate all of us support.
Sure.
And I feel like instead of showing people how to act, like, I show them why I act and why I think and why we need to be better, because individually we can help become a better whole, and that's the plan.
Already. That's real. I mean, you know, like for me, I think, you know, this is a start and a platform that I personally plan to continue to build on. You feel me? Like, you know, I plan to embark further, you know, into literary arts, most definitely prison reform, and really being a factor in the personal development of not just my own daughters. You know, I have two beautiful daughters where I'm a part of their lives and really helping them with their personal development. But, you know, for my nieces and nephews and the youth out here who are pursuing for urban warfare, we still reach out to the streets. We still connected with people who are out there, you know, each one piece. We try to make differences out here. We can only do it by starting with ourselves. And even though we just started this podcast show, you know, we've been educating ourselves, being a part of a lot of other organizations, and we're really embedded into prison and social reform, you know, through grassroots empowerment and letter writing campaigns, you know what I mean? So, like, you know, we all in, you feel me? So, next question is, you know, this is one of the things about the system that you would start making a dramatic change to if you could. You know, first and foremost, I'll start with the judicial system in terms of making it more balanced and giving defendants better lawyers and representing them correctly. court appointed lawyers work for the state and are oftentimes in cahoots with the district attorneys for plea bargaining purposes. You feel me? Like, I'll also put something in place, against, keeping snitches from being able to, use plea deals in exchange for their testimony. You feel me? Like, secondly, my primary focus will be rehabilitation, like more educational programs, and other programs, especially mental health programs, that have changed the criminal mentality into a form of more productive mentality that will help reduce recidivism rates. I'll also get rid of Columbus Day. I should have closed my window, but you can hear the little car outside. I'll also get rid of Columbus Day, and not really get off topic or make it about race, but people need to read history, y'all. Like, people need to read history and live according to facts. You feel me? Like, Columbus was a murderer. You feel me? Like, he murdered people, bro. He savagely murdered people and started a slave system that had a tremendous effect on several nationalities and cultures. You feel me? Like, hashtag that, in Columbus Day. You feel me?
Yeah. The word colonizer comes from his real name, Christopher Colon. You know what I'm saying? They all the lands that he conquered, he called them colonized. But this question real political, and it made me feel like I'm at a presidential debate or something. But
no, I ain't gonna interrupt you, though, brother.
It's a lot of change I'll make. I get rid of the two-party system and create something more representative than the working class versus the elite. I disband police unions and encourage community policing by community leaders through education and true rehabilitation. But the most drastic or radical change I'll make is from the objective of profit to the objective of need.
Already. It's funny though. It made me think of, a couple verses in this poem I wrote for real.
You wrote a poem, let's hear a few lines.
So let me see. I was asked recently, what would I do with unlimited power? Would I become a ghost of Tommy and Cadence or run the streets like Avon and string a bell from the wire? I think I'll attack politics and reform the penitentiary to reduce most of this razor wire and change the Constitution to equality and force all bigots to retire. And I'll rewrite history and pay homage to our martyrs and put back in place all the ancient African empires and commemorate the warriors of the 60s and the 70s who prophesied on the black and brown power. You feel me? Like something like that. I kind of stumbled a little bit.
That's real deep though, man. Already. I agree with everything you said though.
Already. So the next question, how is the mental health catered to, if at all, and what needs to change in regards to the mental health of prisoners? We got like a minute left, so we're going to get into this and answer the rest of it if we have...
You have 1 minute remaining. This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
I'll answer this last question, and then we're going to get into the rehabilitation in the next program. So, we're going to hit you back in a second, James.
Okay, brother.
Already.
Thank you for using GTL.
Here's Demente. Hold on.
We want freedom, slavery still legal. Tell me how we equal. Mass incarceration, Jim Crow the sequel. This one for my people. Caged and confined, they trap your mind, they gotta beat you. Propagating lies, watch me bring the truth to the light. We want freedom, slavery still legal. Tell me how we equal. Mass incarceration, Jim Crow the sequel. This one for my people. Caged and confined, they trap your mind, they gotta beat you. Propagating lies, watch me bring the truth to the light.
Wow.
Hello. This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using GTL.
Already. You guys on? Still on?
Yes.
So the question again, if everybody didn't catch it, how is your mental health catered to, if at all, and what needs to change in regards to the mental health of prisoners? So in terms of mental health, we have a mental health department, but they do rounds like once or twice a week, and they don't really check into the welfare of prisoners' mental conditions. You know what I'm saying? Like the COs definitely don't care. They see guys in struggling with mental health issues, and as clear as we see it, and they don't care unless the prisoner, pretty much acting violent or suicidal. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not no psychologist or nothing, but you know, there's guys in here that have multiple issues. You know, it gets overlooked. You know, it's satisfied adult with the way other prisoners respond to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I've come to realize and recognize how certain things I've experienced in my life has had a dramatic impact on my mental health and emotional attitudes. You feel me? So, you know, there's a lot of people, you know, in the world period struggling with, you know, reality, and it's very sad. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to get more involved in mental health awareness because it's real. You feel me? Like the other night, this guy here, you know, who have like, you know, a lot of mental health issues, just straight start building out for like what, 2 hours or something? You feel me? Like, you know, dude just start building up, rip up the whole block for real. You know, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Like one of the ones, it's crazy because the CO thing, kid. You know, he just pretty much told him to shut up, which he didn't. You feel me? And like they just, you know, kept it pushing for real. And this is a guy that bugs out on a regular. You feel me? And it's sad.
See, I ain't no psychiatrist, but so I can't really give a qualified.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
I said I can't really give a qualified mental evaluation, but it's clear prisoners have some problems that don't get properly addressed. I mean, I got plenty of days when I struggle with problems and I wake up and I don't want to be here, like, but it's pointless to talk to mental health because all they respond is threats of bodily harm to yourself or others, and they respond by kidnapping you, stripping you, and locking you in the cell on 48-hour watch. And I feel a lot must change. Specifically, guys with mental health should have been ineligible from the start, like the law say.
Already. So, you know, that's pretty much the answer to Nikita's question. You know, if anybody else has, you know, questions, you know, to make it easier, just send us the questions that we can, you know, get some time to really reflect on them and really answer them properly. You understand what I'm saying? So we want to open up a segment like on Fridays on a second call to really answer questions. You understand? So like we'll save that part there. Right. So like, you know, about rehabilitation. So, you know, like it is a popular misconception that prisons are designed to rehabilitate. You know, most of the prisoners who are released return to society, you know, worse than they were before they, you know, were in prison. You know, this is the reason why recidivism rates, you know, continue to spike each year.
Explain to the listeners what recidivism is.
So, like, you know, not with an accurate definition, because I don't have a dictionary in front of me, but like, you know, it's pretty much like the revolving door of, you know, convicts getting out of prison and coming back and things like that. You feel me? So, like, you know, a lot of times, like, you know, prisoners, you know, become bitter and angry at the system for being psychologically tortured while confined within these institutions, and then they are released without any support, you know, back into the same environment that helped lead them into an unproductive lifestyle. You know, like, sticking a person in prison ain't going to necessarily cause a person to be reformed, like, no matter how long they sentence to serve. You feel me? Like, if a person is not given the tools to expand their thinking or does not want to change, then they won't, like, regardless of how long they spend in prison. You know, I acknowledge that. You know, there are people who need to be isolated from the rest of society due to their actions while in society. But I also feel that there are many people who just have for life.
Yeah.
You feel me? Especially like those who commit crimes at young ages or as a means of survival. You know, it's a difficult concept for me to understand that like a young cat out here can be labeled lost cause and be sentenced to prison for the majority of, if not the rest of their life.
Yeah.
But they ain't really understood the purpose of their life. You feel me?
Edward, we have a bunch of questions for you that we need to get to, so that because they want to be able to ask the questions to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me go down. Your friend is very proud of you guys.
From an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
And they're asking, how is your mental health personally?
Right. I pretty much tapped into that in the beginning of the you know, call. And pretty much like, you know, every day, you know, is a struggle. You know, like being in prison, there's no handbook to how to survive in prison. And if it is, I don't think it can be accurately explained the way to help a person really use it to any good. It's like, you know, with anything in life, man, we experience challenges, whether we in prison or not. So, you know, I've dealt with a lot of issues over the years in terms of, you know, my growth and development as a man, and it helped me get to a point where the older that my my daughters got, the more I look for myself to be better. You feel me? So like as long as I'm constantly in a positive state of mind, as long as I have the love and support of my family, now it keeps me going. It feeds my energy. It gives me more to look, forward to each day. And I'm feeling good right now. Like I'm in a better mind state today than I ever have been. You feel me? Like I had to, pretty much hate myself in order to love myself. And what I hated within myself was the person that I was, because I knew that I was better than what I had became. You feel me? Like I fell victim to the system in terms of, me being sentenced for somebody else's crimes, and me having my own insecurities, and me having my own issues with my family and the things that I experienced in life. Over the years I struggled with. Like I've been locked up 14 years, and the first 12 years of my incarceration, I spent a lot of time in a hole. And this ain't to brag or to get clout, but like I was one of them guys in here that kept people on edge. Like I was into everything you could think of. I was one of them kind of people, man. I didn't care. You understand what I'm saying? And I experienced a lot of being in a hole because of that. I'm talking about years. I did 3 years on Supermax at one time. You feel me? But that helped me. Like most people that go insane in segregation because they can't deal with the.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility.
I'm trying to get him
and
to
may be
answer them
recorded
all.
and monitored.
You feel me? And that's something that we wanted to talk about in this segment, and we was going to really, give light to. But yeah, I'm definitely doing good, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And I appreciate that question, because it's definitely something that more people check on God's mental conditions in here. Guys are be more, positive minded and have a different outlook.
We need to get onto some of the other questions as well. There's a bunch of them. Somebody says, your friend said Lang for president. Let's see. What are you saying to them before the abuse starts? Or what excuses are they using before the abuse? I'm not sure what that means. I think what are they doing to help you? How are they abusing you with the mental health?
How you all abusing us? You want to answer that? Or you want me to go ahead?
Yeah.
How they are abusing us? That's what they said?
Yeah, with the mental health. Are they giving you what you needed?
I think it's more like intentional neglect.
Right.
They don't take mental health cases back here serious.
They're not trained and qualified to deal with mental health. They want to come in, get their little check, and get home. These CEOs ain't no different from everyday people, man. They just guys that wear a uniform and come in here and get a paycheck. They not mental health department. They clown the same way how other prisoners react and clown and talk stuff to inmates and prisoners. I don't like using the word inmate, by the way. We prefer the word prisoner. But like the same way the CEOs don't care, they do not care. Unless they have to react, where something gets too out of control, they do not care. So it gets neglected in terms of we can't go to the mental health department and say that this guy or that guy having mental health issues, because then we become snitches, or we become, that's the wrong side of the politics to be on in prison. You feel me? So the only thing that we can do is, the people that we associate with and deal with, we have a tight knit of guys that I don't deal with a lot of guys, but the guys I can do, we make sure we keep each other, grounded. We make sure that if we see something off with each other, we we bugging out, have a talk, we sit down and we meet.
Yeah. Hey, Edward, I think in the future we need them to try to send you the questions. Can you give them your JPay information?
Okay, so so the JPay is an app called JPay, JPAY. What they can do is they can download the JPay app on a phone or laptop. They set up their account. Once they set up their own account, then they can add us to their account. They add us to their account by adding the inmate number. My inmate number, Edward Lang.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
It's 532018. I'm in the state of Ohio. Once you push in my ID number, my name will pop up, and then you can send me emails. I can send you emails, get the emails at the same time. You get up, you send them, and all that. And DeMonte's information is DeMonte
exact process, except insert my information, and I'll be added onto your JPEG.
Right. You can have multiple people on your JPEG account. Not only that, but you don't need our name. You just need our personal number, which is again mine is 532-018, and the Mondays is 691-689.
Yeah.
Once you add to the account, you can, you know.
Edward, can you talk a little bit about that attack you were talking about? One of the ladies wants to know a little bit more about the attack.
The attack on my co-defendant. That's what you're saying?
No, it says, I read, you were saying something about an attack. She wants,
Yeah. Basically, like, 2014, a guy that I knew that was at the same prison as my co-defendant, you know, he tried to speak to my co-defendant on my behalf, and, you know, they try to get him to, you know, like, do right. Like, you know, like, own your wrong. You got to go on death row. And things, I guess, kind of got physical. And what they did was they, you know, charged me with trying to put a hit on my co-defendant. It's just a BS. I had proof that I didn't do it. They didn't have proof that I did it. It was using a letter because the guy mentioned my co-defendant in the letter to me. You know, they pretty much took it around with it. I was facing transfer to another prison, Supermax. I appealed the process. When I appealed it, I won my appeal and was found not guilty by the Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections, appeal process. But they kept me in the hole additional 5.5 months. So I did a total of 8 months in the hole because they said that even though I was found not guilty in the appeal process, because I was found guilty in their eyes, they felt that I did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and, you know, so it was crazy.
huh?
Yeah. You know, prison, you know, like, we gotta help ourselves in here. Like, they don't give us help. Like, very few COs come in here with a positive mentality. You know, like, COs do not care about what we do, how we do it. Sometimes we do what we want to do in certain situations. I'm not gonna really get into certain particulars over this phone call because our calls are recorded. However, we are in prison. You know what I'm saying? We live around, we on death row with a bunch of murderers and accused rapists and accused serial killers and things like that. So, you know, it's 140 phones.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
There's 140 some of us on death row. Like, this ain't, you know, elementary school. This ain't, you know, kindergarten. Like, it's real here. You feel me? Like, a lot of the guys in here deal with mental health issues, and the mental health issues lead to severe, you know, physical assaults and all kinds of everything. You feel me? And we just, you know, I've been through that. 12 years of my incarceration, I was into all of that, but now I'm like, I'm trying to do something better. You know, I'm in a better state. My youngest daughter is 10 years old, and like, she hold on to everything I say and do, and she mimics me. You know, I see her on visits, she mimics me and acts the way I act, and like, it's a down because I feel like I want to be the best person that I can be for my kids.
Demonte, they loved your song too, by the way.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Already.
Appreciate the love.
Yeah. We go, you know, we have a lot of material, and you know, I know there's a lot of people that want to ask questions. It could be better if they send us the questions on JPay or through you, on show. You feel me? So we got to find a time in a certain segment to get to those questions, and we won't really cut off what we said about, you know, the things that we talk about. But we love any support, any love. You know, follow us. Hashtag Ohio Freedom Fighters, man. You know, spread the word. You know, subscribe. You know, share the links to the videos. Help us get the views up, y'all. Help us get this up. This ain't something we're doing for now. This is something we'll be doing, you know.
Make sure y'all spread the word, man. We encourage y'all to tap in with us, man. We're trying to create dialogue.
Y'all ready? Change start with us. You already know this.
Right.
And we come in and say what we said, man. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings. Already.
Okay.
Appreciate you, James.
Okay, see you Monday.
Already.
I want to play that rap song one more time, guys. I've never been into rap music so much, but I was really impressed here. Let's see. Ready?
We want freedom, slavery still legal. Tell me how we equal, mass incarceration, Jim Crow the sequel. This one for my people, cage they confined, they trap your mind, they gotta beat you, propagating lies. Watch me bring the truth to the light. We want freedom, slavery still legal. Tell me how we equal, mass incarceration, Jim Crow the sequel. This one for my people, cage they confined, they trap your mind, they gotta beat you, propagating lies. Watch me bring the truth to the light.
Now that's really a song, and you could tell this was from the heart. And I think if people have questions for them, either JPay them or write them directly, or if you could inbox Miss King on Facebook and give her the questions, maybe she could give it to Edward or Damonte, probably Edward, because they're friends over there. And remember, for the most important thing is let's pray for these guys. Let's pray for an end to the death sentence. Our number one goal right now is to get them off death row. Then, I mean, at the same time or even after, they need to be exonerated. But let's get them off death row first. And on the, boy, I think it's the 16th that we're hosting the rally down at Chillicothe to abolish the death sentence. That would be from 1 to 3 p.m. Tomorrow we have a wrongful conviction protest on the corner of South High and State in Columbus. So please join us. Last year we had a couple come in from Florida that their son was locked up in one of the institutions in Ohio. Okay, everybody have yourself a great, great day.